Well, good morning and welcome to today's reflection from Christchurch. The other day, I spoke about using favorite hymns in these reflections, and I talked about How Great Thou Art, the one that came number 2 in a Christianity Today survey in 2001. Well, this morning, I want to talk about the one that came first, Amazing Grace, written by John Newton in 1772. A slave trader who called out to God for help in a storm which threatened his ship. He was saved, both physically and spiritually. And although he carried on in the slave trade a few years more, he became a fervent abolitionist as his faith grew. And he then served for 20 years as a vicar in Olney in Buckinghamshire. The story behind the writing of the hymn and how it became popular is well worth looking into. But the highlight is its message that forgiveness and redemption are possible, regardless of sins committed, and that the soul can be delivered from despair through the mercy of God. It is above all a message of hope and joy that our lives can be redeemed. However, I'm not going to focus on the writing of the hymn. I'm going to go back to Tuesday, the 11th of September, 2001, the time of the terrorist attacks in New York, so-called 9/11. At that time, I was in Chicago with a local management team. We were in the middle of a presentation when someone came running into the meeting to say that we must look at the TV. Everyone was devastated. And in the company and the whole community, there was immense shock and sadness. Everyone seemed to know someone who'd been affected. Well, on the Friday of that week, I was asked if I could hold a service for both our company and for a number of other companies in the locality. We met in the car park outside. And the only request I had was to deliver a service that was suitable for all faiths and none. Now, I have to say that the preparation of the talk, which was going to be less than 10 minutes, took a very long time to write. And then there was a choice of music, and I chose this incredible Christian hymn, Amazing Grace. There is throughout the message of salvation, but there are also the words of comfort in verse 3. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, we have already come. 'Twas grace that brought us safe this far, and grace will lead us home. Now, I didn't realize it at the time, but Amazing Grace is a signature hymn for the firefighters in the US. Because of that and the heroics of the firefighters in New York, singing it had an incredible resonance with everyone there, both Christian and non-Christian alike. But it has stayed with me that all the people there heard in it a message of hope, of forgiveness, a message of salvation. We were in the midst of tragedy, of great grief, but could hear a message of hope. Fast forward to today. We are again in the midst of a time of grief and suffering as we look at the world around us, what is happening in Ukraine, in Yemen, in Nigeria, in Myanmar, in so many parts of the world. We need the hope of God's amazing grace, and we need to see that hope shared. And we only sang 4 verses that day. There are actually 13 verses, and each one of them can be linked to verses in the Bible. For example, when we talk about hope, there is Psalm 130, verse 5. I wait for the Lord, my soul does wait, and in his word do I hope. In Matthew 24, verse 35, we have, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. And when we sing, my grace and grace my fears relieved, there's Isaiah 41:10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not anxiously look about you, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Surely I will help you. Surely I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So perhaps if you'd like a little project, then you could look up all 13 verses and try your own matching the scripture. But for me, it's that message of forgiveness, of redemption, of hope, and of a joyous future that makes this very definitely a favorite hymn. Let's pray. Lord, I know that you grieve over man's inhumanity to man. And we praise you, Father, for sending your Son to bring salvation and forgiveness and mercy to the world. We thank you for such amazing grace. Lord, help us to reflect each day on your grace and mercy and love, and to share it with all we meet. Amen. Have a blessed day.